आपने जब बिजनेस स्टार्ट करा सर अपना फर्स्ट फार्मेसी ओपन करी, उतार चढ़ाव बहुत आए होंगे।
बहुत it's not easy but if you are confident and you know the ins and outs you can do it.
अगर प्रेजेंट डे में कोई बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना चाह रहा है फार्मा का, इज इट डिफरेंट नाउअडे एज कंपेयर टू 2011 व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड इट?
It's very expensive to start a business compared to when I started, so it is difficult.
कभी आपका मन करा कि नहीं अब स्विच करना है, अब शायद ये नहीं हो रहा इनिशियल डेज में?
You know, there is always days where you don't have business, right, when you start from scratch, but if you lose confidence then you will never be able to do business.
रोल ऑफ फार्मासिस्ट कितना इवॉल्व हो रहा है? लाइक आपने जब शुरू करा था
it is changing every day. It's changing every day.
Okay.
Yeah, we get more and more responsibilities.
कोई एक ऐसी मोमेंट आप शेयर करना चाहेंगे? आप किसी पेशेंट को ट्रीट कर रहे थे या कंसल्ट कर रहे थे, वो आपको अभी तक याद है?
बहुत सारी हैं. पीपल रियली अप्रिशिएट इन कैनेडा. आप अगर पेशेंट की केयर करते हो तो पीपल आर वेरी अप्रिशिएटिव, पीपल आर वेरी लॉयल इन कैनेडा.
आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. बाई वीकली पॉडकास्ट के नए एपिसोड में आप सबका स्वागत है. मेरा नाम जतिन है, आपका होस्ट हूँ मैं. आज आपको हमारे नए गेस्ट से मिला रहे हैं. नरेश जैन सर हैं ये.
हेलो जी.
ये हमारी सिटी हिसार से हैं. मुझे यहाँ मिली, इनकी स्टोरी मुझे मेरे एक दोस्त ने बताई. ये मेरी तरह ही एक इमिग्रेंट के तौर पे कनाडा आए थे और उसके बाद इन्होंने एक अपनी यहाँ जर्नी शुरू करी एज ए फार्मासिस्ट और एक आज के दिन बहुत अच्छा बिजनेस कर रहे हैं फार्मेसी का. कनाडा में इनके स्टोर्स हैं फार्मेसी के. और सबसे अच्छी बात, इंडिया से बहुत से स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो फार्मेसी में कल्चर बनाना चाहते हैं, फार्मास्यूटिकल बिजनेस में एंटर करना चाहते हैं. सर उन्हें बहुत सपोर्ट करते हैं, उन सब की हेल्प करते हैं. तो सर आज अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करेंगे, अपनी स्टोरी आपको और हमको बताएंगे और हमें इनसे सीखने को मिलेगा. और इस स्टोरी के अंदर कुछ चीज़ें रह भी जाएंगी तो आप सब कमेंट में मेंशन कर सकते हैं, हम सर से दोबारा पूछ लेंगे. नमस्कार सर, कैसे हैं आप?
एकदम फर्स्ट क्लास.
तो शुरू करें सर?
हाँ जी.
बिल्कुल. आप सबको बता देता हूँ, हिसार एक सिटी है हरियाणा में. तो सर वहीं से हैं. सर की सारी स्टोरी है हमें बताएंगे, पर सर थोड़ी हरियाणवी भी बतानी पड़ेगी आप.
जरूर.
पक्का?
हाँ.
ठीक है. सर आप 2002 में कनाडा शिफ्ट हुए थे, तो क्या आप हमें थोड़ी सी अपनी बिगिनिंग बता सकते हैं कि कैसे आए, कब आए?
एक्चुअली मैंने कोई प्लान नहीं किया था, बट फ्रेंड्स थे जो लोग इंटरेस्टेड थे कि आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन लेट्स गो आउटसाइड ऑफ कैनेडा, इंडिया.
हाँ जी.
सो देन वी फाउंड immigrate to Canada. There was a big banner.
हाँ जी.
So we looked at it and said, okay, let's give it a try. Sure. And I was doing business in India those days.
Okay.
So then we applied just for fun. Okay, let's see if they approve it or not.
Yes, sir.
And then I think we applied in 1999.
Okay.
And then we got approval in 2002. Then we came here to see if we are suitable
or not,
and if the country is suitable for us. So it took us about 2 months to understand the country, and then we decided to stay here.
ओके सर. आप सर जब यहाँ आए थे आपकी एज कितनी थी?
I was 29.
आप 29 की एज में आए थे.
Yeah.
तो एज ए स्टूडेंट आए थे सर?
नहीं, मैं एज ए परमानेंट रेजिडेंट आया था.
Okay.
सो आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन दे अप्रूव्ड परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी इन इंडिया.
ओके.
सो जब आए थे तो वी हैड आवर परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी विद
ओके
अस.
सर, एज ए परमानेंट रेजिडेंट आप यहाँ पे आए थे.
या.
तो सर जब यहाँ पे पहली बार लैंड करते हैं, सडनली कल्चरल शॉक होता है आपको?
एक्चुअली हमें नहीं हुआ था क्योंकि वी केम टू फ्रेंड्स टुगेदर. सो and secondly we were not sure whether we'll stay in Canada or go back, so we didn't feel that.
Okay.
There was a little bit of hesitation because we never flew that far, from India.
Yes,
but
sir.
Not a big deal. We came here together, we stayed together, so it was not a big challenge. Obviously, you feel different when you go to a different country.
Yes, sir.
But it was all right.
ओके. सो थोड़ा सा आप अपने करियर इंडिया में बता सकते हैं, क्या कर रहे थे?
इंडिया में मैं एक्चुअली बिजनेस में था. तो आई वाज डूइंग मोस्टली ब्रिक किलन्स, जो ईंट भट्ठा है.
हाँ जी.
दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज डूइंग बिफोर कमिंग टू कनाडा. और मैं 2002 में आया था, तो आई कंटिन्यूड इट अंटिल 2004.
ओके.
होपिंग दैट इफ आई हैव टू गो बैक देन आई हैव समथिंग देयर, राइट. But then 2004 I was fully prepared to stay here, so then I sold everything.
आपने वहाँ पे प्लान भी बंद कर दिया?
प्लान भी बंद कर दिया 2004 में।
ठीक है सर। सर आपने बैचलर फार्मेसी में करी इंडिया में?
फार्मेसी में।
तो यहाँ पे जब आते हैं तो डिसाइड कैसे करते हैं कि मैंने इस फील्ड में जाना है, क्योंकि आप 8 का काम कर रहे थे?
एक्चुअली हमें कोई आइडिया नहीं था इस चीज़ का कि फार्मेसी का क्या फील्ड है कनाडा में। But then when we came here, by God's grace, we found people around who guided us कि this is how the things work.
Yes sir.
थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया था इंडिया से कि we have to get our credentials done, we have to get to the level of Canadian pharmacists.
Yes sir.
But then people help, just like now I am helping people to get their licenses.
Okay. सर ये जो करियर ट्रांजिशन था आपका इंडिया से कनाडा का, ये कितना चैलेंजिंग था?
For me it was not. It is actually very challenging for people, but for me it was not, because I was not dependent on it. So it was not that big of a deal for me.
Yes sir.
We just came okay and got settled quickly. So
सर जब आप आए इधर, जैसे हम अपनी बातें तो करते रहेंगे, कुछ क्वेश्चंस थे कि आपने डिसाइड कैसे करा कि मैंने इस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में जाना है?
फील्ड एक ही है for a pharmacist. You this is the best field.
Okay.
If you are a pharmacist, if you are like, let's say if I want to do something else, without professional license you got no value.
Yes,
right sir. So the pharmacist license was the main key to
yes,
success sir. In Canada, so that's why we decided there was no other options. Yeah.
Because you used to do other businesses in India.
Yes, I did. Yeah. But those are not viable options in Canada. Okay. Those are pretty expensive stuff. So licensing is very easy and you don't need to spend a lot of money. But doing business when you enter into a new country is not easy. Now you can plan to do whatever you want.
Yeah. Because now you are financially capable.
Exactly.
और आपको जो एक्सपीरियंस है कनाडा में वो हेल्प आउट करेगा आपको शायद?
100% it will help out. Yeah.
सर जब आप खुद को कैनेडियन सोसाइटी में इंटीग्रेट कर रहे थे, तो आपने जो अपना हरियाणवी कल्चर है, जो लैंग्वेज है, उसको कैसे संभाल के रखा?
एक्चुअली घर में हम लोग हरियाणवी बोलते हैं।
हाँ जी।
बच्चों के साथ भी
जी।
पेरेंट्स हैं, बच्चों को हर साल इंडिया भेजते हैं, इसलिए 2-3 महीने के लिए ड्यूरिंग समर वेकेशंस. सो दे स्टे विद ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स, brothers, sisters, cousins. So then they also speak हरियाणवी.
तो ताकि रूट्स मजबूत रहें.
बिल्कुल.
जी सर. तो सर अब हम आगे चलते हैं. ये तो हमारी पर्सनल बातें थी. सर आपने जैसे अपनी फार्मा में एजुकेशन कंप्लीट करी इंडिया में, यहाँ पे आए तो आपने अपने क्रेडेंशियल रिकॉग्नाइज कराया, आप बता रहे थे.
हाँ जी.
तो क्या स्टेप्स लिए सर रिकॉग्नाइज कराने
उसमें एक्चुअली एक वेबसाइट है pbc.ca. अगर आप वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे तो देयर इज ऑल द डिटेल्स देयर. तो अपने जो इंडियन जितने भी फार्मासिस्ट यहाँ मूव करना चाह रहे हैं,
यस सर,
you just go to pbc.ca and then it guides you through. You don't need any help from anybody. You can do it by yourself. उसमें steps हैं, how you evaluate your credentials, then how you do your exams.
Yes, sir.
All the details are there.
सर जब आपने फार्मेसी का बिजनेस यहाँ स्टार्ट करने का डिसाइड कर लिया कि अब मैं इसी फील्ड से हूँ, मैंने मेरी फील्ड में आगे मूव ऑन करना है, तो क्रेडेंशियल्स आपने करवा लिए अप्रूव. इसके बाद सर आपने बिजनेस स्टार्ट कब करा, कहीं काम करा?
Oh, it took a long time. Oh yes, I worked for Walmart, Loblaws, independent pharmacies. I worked for almost 7 years before planning to start the business in 2011. So I used to work for multiple companies.
Okay.
And then gained experience, and then eventually in 2011 I planned to start the business.
You opened your first pharmacy in
That's
2011.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
ठीक है सर. इन द मीन टाइम आपने जब यहाँ पे थे किसी और की फार्मेसी में काम कर रहे थे?
राइट सर. वॉलमार्ट के पास फार्मेसीज हैं, लॉबलॉज की बहुत सारी फार्मेसीज हैं, नॉर्थ में, सो आई यूज्ड टू वर्क फॉर देम.
आपने जब बिजनेस स्टार्ट करा सर, अपना फर्स्ट फार्मेसी ओपन करी, उतार चढ़ाव बहुत आए होंगे? बहुत. It's not easy, but if you are confident and you know the ins and outs, you can do it. It's not a big issue, but it's not that easy. Obviously you have to start from scratch. जब आपने शुरू करा सर ये अपना डिसीजन कि भी मैंने अब चलना है, फार्मेसी ओपन करी, कोई एक ऐसी मोमेंट आई तब ये लगा कि यार ये तो गलत पंगा ले लिया?
एक्चुअली आप जब भी कोई बिजनेस करोगे कनाडा में या इंडिया में भी, स्पेशली इंडिया में फिर भी थोड़ा सा, बिकॉज वी आर इंडियन, राइट, सो इट्स ईजियर टू बिकॉज यू हैव पेरेंटल सपोर्ट्स, यू हैव फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट्स फ्रॉम योर फैमिली मेम्बर्स, राइट. यहाँ पे जब आप करते हो तो you multiply the funds by 50 or 60 rupees.
Yes, sir.
You know, if you are spending $1 million, that's like 60 lakhs.
In India.
You know, 6 crore
Yes, sir.
Indian rupees, right? So you,
that's a very big amount.
Yeah, so if you want that kind of money from India, it's impossible. चाहे आप जितने मर्जी rich हैं back home, right? So you have to make money here and you have to invest here. So I first created the wealth. I kept working, you know, for different companies. And then when I had enough funds to sustain
Yes,
for, you know, initial first 6 months, that's where I started the business.
Okay.
And I, during business, I still used to work on weekends. I used to work for Walmart.
Oh,
Saturday, Sunday for Walmart,
Yes,
and then Monday to Friday my own business.
that's a very great thing because
Yeah.
जब बच्चे खुद का या कोई बिजनेस शुरू करते हैं
Right.
सबकी ये रहता है कि मैं जॉब लीव कर दूंगा
Right, right, right.
100% डिपेंडेंट हो जाऊंगा बिजनेस
No, I always tell my colleagues also, don't leave your job. Do at least couple days with them,
Yes,
and the rest of the days you can invest your, you know, your time into your own business
Yes, sir.
to build your business. And once your business is built, you are able to, you know, take care of your expenses. You can leave and start, you know, full time.
सर अगर हम नए इमिग्रेंट के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें अगर प्रेजेंट डे में कोई बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना चाह रहा है फार्मा का इज इट डिफरेंट नाउअडे एज कंपेयर टू 2011 व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड इट
It's very expensive to
Okay.
start a business compared to when I started. It was not that expensive. So it is difficult.
इन टर्म्स ऑफ मॉनेटरी इट्स एक्सपेंसिव
Monetary expenses are very high.
इन टर्म्स ऑफ
Rents are
रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस
rules regulations are pretty much the same.
Okay.
There is not much change, but financially it's a lot of burden now. So to start a new business for a new grad is a little bit tough.
ओके
But that doesn't mean you can't do it. People are doing it. A lot of people are doing new businesses. So you can still get into the business.
Okay. Sir, as you have started the business, you have taken a loan or just you use all of your
No, I
money?
used my own money. I never took loan. I took help from my, you know, friends, family here in Canada, and I had my own finances. That's why it took me 7 years to reach that level where I can say, okay, now I can invest into business.
You have such, you know, इतना अच्छा patience आपके पास बहुत ज़्यादा है.
Oh, you need
Present
to.
day
You need to. You
kids
need
don't
to.
have
No,
that.
no. You need to be patient about your you know. You should not be blind, and you just jump into the business. You could actually lose whatever you have. So you got to be very careful.
कभी आपका मन करा कि नहीं अब स्विच करना है अब शायद ये नहीं हो रहा इनिशियल डेज में
You know, there is always you know, days where you don't have business, right? When you start
sir.
from scratch. But if you lose confidence, then you will never be able to do business. Secondly, in Canada,
या
when you start the business, you take a liability of approximately at least $500,000. That's a
a very
dead
big
liability, yeah. If you start a business like
Okay, sir.
pharmacy, because you have 5-year lease, you
Yes,
have to pay for that irrespective. If you close the business or you don't,
doesn't
you still
matter.
have to
You
pay.
have to pay the rent.
Yeah, you have to pay rent, utilities. So those things add up. If you don't do,
Yes, sir.
you lose all that.
Sure, sir.
So there is no way back.
As compared to India, Canadian pharmacy, Indian pharmacy से अलग क्यों है?
India में lease, term lease, rental leases are not that effective.
Yes,
You can get away with it.
Easily.
Here you can't.
Uh,
Here you can't get away with
In terms of prescription and consultation,
I think in India it's easier because in India the population is too much,
Yes,
right?
sir.
People need medicines. Here the population is really small amount of people, right?
Yes,
If you compare to India, we're like one state of India.
Yes, sir.
So obviously you will have less clientele coming to you, but then it works out. It's not like, you know, there are not as many pharmacies
Okay.
here as in India, so it just evens out.
so as a customer, like I came to you, I told you, sir, I have fever or I am sneezing, just give me the medicine. You will give it to me directly or like I have to show you some doctor receipts and everything?
No. For fever, headache, there are some medications that
Yes,
are you can buy without a prescription, and then there are medications that are you know, scheduled, and those needs to be with the prescription.
Okay.
So if you have fever, headache, body ache, sneezing, those kind of medications are over the counter, so you can buy without a prescription. But let's say you have a bacterial infection,
Yes, sir.
or you know, so those are all scheduled and it's all there in the books. So
एज ए फार्मासिस्ट आप जॉब कर रहे थे अपनी ही शॉप पे एज ए बिजनेस ओनर रन भी कर रहे थे. हाउ डू यू मेंटेन बोथ ऑफ थिंग्स?
It's the same thing. There's
Okay.
no difference between the two aspects, whether you have your own business
Yeah.
or whether you are working for somebody. You do
Okay.
the same chores, same job, same, your routine is the same. You dispense medications, accept prescriptions, you use the software. It's absolutely, there's no difference.
आपने जैसे अपनी जर्नी शुरू ही करी सर, अब फार्मा का सेटअप करा, आपने डिसाइड कब करा कि मैं नेक्स्ट फार्मेसी स्टोर मेरा खोलना है?
Actually, I was not thinking about growing more pharmacies,
Yeah.
but I did one. People came in touch with me
Yes, sir.
who looked at it that he is successful. They
Yeah.
joined me. Then we started 2, then 3, then 4, and then it just kept going.
Yes, sir.
So now we have a lot of healthcare professionals, doctors, pharmacists. They're joining us.
Yes, sir.
They look at our track record, and then that's how we grow.
हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम कनाडा पे अगर हम बात करते हैं, पीपल से जो कनाडा का हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम है वो इंडिया के कंपैरिजन थोड़ा वीक है. इज इट ट्रू?
It's not. I won't say weak है, but because of the I would say because our health system is free, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
then you have to follow the I would say arrangement by the government, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
you have to follow certain rules and regulations. So let's say in India you can go to see a doctor, pay the fee, and you're out.
Yes, sir.
Whereas here you have to go through the system,
Okay.
right? So you go call the doctor's office, make an appointment, then you go at the appointment
Yes,
time if you have a family doctor. But I wouldn't say it's a weak system. It's a great system.
Yes, sir.
It takes time, obviously, because people are waiting in line. Right? Let's
Okay.
say if you have a heart surgery, they do it right away. There's no problem.
इफ अगर इमरजेंसी है
100%
तो
right away.
सबसे पहले अटेंड करते हैं.
Absolutely.
अदरवाइज नहीं.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Emergencies are like right away. You go to the hospital, tell them this is what it is, they'll take you right away. Bigger surgeries, like otherwise you could actually pay all your money that you have. Those kind of surgeries are free in Canada. So system is free.
इन
Healthcare.
टर्म्स ऑफ डिसीजेज हम आपने इंडिया भी देखा है, यहाँ भी देखा है, फर्क क्या आता है सर
किस चीज का?
इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिसीजेज? लाइक इंडिया
It's
में
the
डिसीज
same.
अलग होती हैं.
No, it's all the same. Just you see, because of the the water
Yes,
quality, you don't have cholera, you don't have diarrheas, you don't have those kind of problems which exist in India.
Yes, sir.
But that's like every country has different issues. So in Canada, we don't have a lot of general diseases that we come across in India. But there are winters,
Yes, sir.
those are really chilly winters, so people get cold, cough. So there are pros and cons for everywhere. There you have different diseases because of the weather. Here you have different. Like in
Weather
summer,
is clean here.
yeah, in summer you have a lot of mosquitoes, so you get malaria and those kind of diseases which doesn't exist in Canada
Yes, sir.
because of the weather.
सर एज ए स्टूडेंट अगर मैं किसी फार्मेसी में इंटर्नशिप करना चाह रहा हूँ तो मुझे क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स चाहिए मिनिमम?
Internship word has its own value in pharmacy.
Yes,
you should be authorized by College of Pharmacy to do internship.
Okay.
But if you want to work in a pharmacy, just to assist the pharmacist, anybody can go work.
Anybody go and work?
Yeah.
They don't need any license?
There is no need of license as an assistant.
Okay.
If you want to work as a technician, then you need a license from the College of Pharmacy. And if you want to work as a pharmacist, again you need a license.
So एज ए स्टूडेंट मेरे को अगर असिस्टेंट के तौर पे काम करना है देन
You can work.
I
You
can
can work as an assistant. Absolutely you can. There's no problem.
आई एम अ स्टूडेंट हु हैज टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड, लाइक आई वांट टू स्विच टू द फार्मास्यूटिकल बैकग्राउंड. इज इट फिजिबल हियर?
Yes, it is feasible. If you want to be a pharmacist, it is going to be a long journey for you.
हियर?
It's a long journey, yeah.
ओके.
You got to go into schooling and then it's like 4-year program. If you get into it, it's very competitive. Very competitive. So it's not easy, but people do pharmacy from other countries and then they come and settle into Canada. That's easier.
Okay.
Rather than
That's
going
cheaper there.
way cheaper. Way
Than
cheaper. Yeah, it's way cheaper.
So if it comes to Canadian economy, अगर एज ए फार्मासिस्ट इधर मूव कर रहे हैं, इज इट बेनिफिशियल एज कम्पेयर टू इंडिया?
Again, it depends on what your plans are. If you are good in studies
Yes,
and
sir.
you want your licensing, it is good to move here.
Okay.
If you cannot get the license, then you are worth nothing basically. You will be doing some odd job, then it's better to be in India. So again, it depends on no, I would say your status in India. If you are doing great in India, then I wouldn't recommend anybody to come to Canada.
Okay. Sir,
if you have a business or financially you are strong,
yes, sir.
I don't think it's worth it. But again, it's personal choice.
Okay. Sir, I want to know, you should give one piece of advice to the persons who want to start their healthcare business here as a pharmacist, or people who want to job as a pharmacist, like initial stage में खुद का business setup करना है, तो present day कितनी investment होनी चाहिए?
The investment again depends on where you want to do business. Okay. If you want to do business in GTA,
yes, sir.
You will need somewhere between $500,000 to $1 million.
Okay.
Initial investment.
Okay.
Which banks will give you the loan, okay, if you are a licensed pharmacist. But if you go out of GTA,
yes, sir,
you might get a little bit cheaper because rents are cheaper, right? But then you don't get the clientele. So okay, it all depends on where you are, which area.
More the clientele, more the revenue.
Absolutely.
More the income.
Yeah.
Okay. As a student, I'm from India. I want to move to Canada. Which province is better to start my journey as a healthcare?
As a pharmacist.
Yes,
right? I don't know much about other healthcare,
as a
professionals. But as a pharmacist, nowadays they have programs for pharmacists in other states. I would say, let's say Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. There, you could actually get into pharmacy quicker than Ontario.
Okay.
Because of the shortage there. But again, you have to reassess. Everybody has to look at the requirement. And when you go to Immigration Canada,
yes, sir,
it shows you there that Nova Scotia is looking for more pharmacists, yes, or sir, New Brunswick is looking for more, right? So you have to look at those. And then you will see, Ontario doesn't need, to be frank. Ontario has a lot of supply.
Okay. So now time is changing. Digital era is coming. So people nowadays order medicines even online.
Yes.
Yeah. So is it good thing or a bad thing?
In Canada, actually, I know about Ontario. Online medicine you cannot order.
Okay.
Okay. The only way you can order is you call your doctor.
Yes, sir.
And then your doctor sends prescription to the pharmacy of your choice.
Okay.
And then the pharmacist can choose based on your requirement to deliver the medication to you. So if that happens, it's the same procedure. Earlier it used to be the patient goes to the doctor, then goes to the pharmacy and then takes the meds, go home. Now they call the doctor. If the doctor accepts phone calls, sir, again it depends on the doctor's practice. Then they send the prescription either via fax or email, and then the pharmacist prepares it.
Okay.
So there is no
thing
online.
Is same now.
Yeah. There is no change.
Directly जाने के लिए.
Yeah.
ठीक है sir. So अगर email पे बातें हो रही हैं, I don't think so. Most of people read emails like thoroughly.
No, they do.
They do it?
Yeah. In Canada, people are very, very good about listening to the pharmacist, doctor, or healthcare basically. They ask questions, and then we discuss medication over the phone as well.
Sir.
So we call the patient, say, okay, your doctor sent this, and then so this is what it is. This is what it is prescribed for, yes, and this is how you are going to do it. So we explain the patient, and then the patient knows how the things will work for them.
As in India, sorry, I'm comparing everything to India, but I used to be in India. So if I have a fever and something else, which is like smaller, not a big deal, I'll go to pharmacist and like ask him for the medicine that I have ache in my head and I have ache in my tummy, everything. He'll give me the medicine as per my requirement. Is it here?
No. You can't get medication whatever you want. Yeah, you go to the pharmacist, you talk to the pharmacist will assess you. Okay. If you have just headache or fever and you don't have any infection,
yes,
so as I said earlier, there are OTC medications that you can buy from a pharmacist without a prescription, and then rest of it you need a prescription for it. So those are all defined. So you can always call the pharmacist. So people call us, oh, I have headache, okay, yes, take Tylenol. So we tell them, okay, you have Tylenol at home, okay, take one. And if it goes away, you're good, otherwise see your doctor. So it's based on, patient to patient. Okay. Underlying, काफ़ी सारे patients आते हैं, उनको बहुत सारी multiple diseases होती हैं. So we don't recommend anything. we tell them go and see your doctor.
Okay.
Because you have underlying
effects.
diseases, right? So there are so many diseases that could impact the patient. So अगर कोई young बच्चा है उसको headache हो रहा, we give Tylenol, relax, take it easy, right? There is no other issue. If they have multiple issues, then we recommend them to see the doctor.
As per trends, people now here, they go to doctor first or they go to pharmacist?
Actually, most of the patients, they call us first and they check with us that this is what I'm going through, if they are my patients. Because we have the database, we can see who is who, right? And then we advise them. If a lot of people, they go directly to the doctor if they know they have infection, they have chest infection or they have ear infection.
Yes,
so they usually go directly to the doctor.
Sir, as a student, अभी मुझे कोई डिसीज है, मैं आपके पास आ रहा हूँ, तो आप इंश्योरेंस पे बच्चे क्लेम करते हैं मेडिसिन या बच्चे डर के पे करते हैं?
You can do either way. You can do either way. If you have a prescription from the doctor,
yes, sir,
and you have insurance, we bill it right away. If you have pay and submit, then we give you the receipt. You go and submit it to your insurance company.
Okay. Or you can directly charge to the insurance company.
Absolutely online. It's all online. We can send the claim, and then within seconds we get the claim back.
Are there any insurance companies which are related to pharmacists, which can, like, I'm here, I'm on work permit, I'm not working full time anywhere, so I don't have insurance of that company. Neither I have student insurance now. So can I buy insurance to someone else?
You can buy private insurance if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, there are private insurance companies based on your health conditions.
Yes, sir.
You can give them the details, just like any other insurance, like life insurance.
Okay.
Same way you can buy health insurance.
And I can access to your pharmacy easily.
Any pharmacy.
Okay.
All the pharmacy in Canada, they accept insurances.
Okay,
Everyone. There is no difference between me or any other pharmacy.
सर, ये तो हमने फार्मेसी की बेसिक जो डिटेल्स है जनरल वो करी. मैं जानना चाहूँगा सर, आपका विजन क्या है नेक्स्ट 10 years के लिए, if it comes to pharmacy business?
No, business is good. Pharmacy business is good. It depends on, actually, for us, it's that's all we know, right? If somebody new is entering into the business, then they will have different opinion about it because of the expenses, because it's a pretty expensive business to start with. So for us, it's a great business. For me, I will be doing that as long as I will be doing until I retire.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing else I'm going to do.
Do people in Canada retire actually?
Oh, absolutely, people retire, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, role of pharmacist कितना evolve हो रहा है? Like आपने जब शुरू करा था?
It's changing every day.
Okay.
Yeah, we get more and more responsibilities. College of Pharmacy gives us the instructions, and then we follow those.
Okay, sir. And there is a saying that doctors and pharmacists read a lot. Like you have to update yourself.
You have to update yourself. Yes.
Okay. What was the scenario here during the COVID time? How do people access your medicines?
Most of it was through the phones.
Oh.
So people will call the pharmacy, and then the pharmacy will drop the medication to their houses. And doctors were all allowed to take phone calls. So people were calling the doctors, I need this, and then they will send it to us, then we will send it to the patient.
Is there any special exciting project that you are going to do in pharmacy business in next 10 years?
No.
Okay, just a regular thing.
This is all regular stuff that I've been doing. There is nothing special about it. We have been doing exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, like you have started your first store. When you were thinking of expanding it in the next phase, that you will open your second store, you have opened your first, it's running good.
Yeah.
So what was in your mind?
I knew the ins and outs of the business.
Yes.
Obviously, I knew what is needed to be successful, right? And then I had, as I told you earlier, we had people around us who were interested, because you can't do more businesses just because you are a pharmacist. It's very difficult, because
you need people to work for you.
The pharmacist has to be there as soon as the pharmacy opens. You can't open the pharmacy without a pharmacist.
Yes.
And me being just one pharmacist, I cannot have two businesses.
Sure, sir.
Or three businesses.
Okay.
So to do that, I need another pharmacist to join, either as an employee or as a partner.
How many pharmacies do you have at this moment, if you're comfortable to share?
I have 4 now,
Okay.
which is in partnership. There are some projects that I'm helping my other colleagues.
Yes, sir.
So in our group we have a lot. In the whole as a group,
Yes,
we
sir.
have quite a few, maybe 12, 13.
that much pharmacy you have here?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in the group?
In the group, not just me.
Okay.
There are people, there are friends who graduated.
Yes, sir.
So I supported them to start the business.
Have you ever tried an initiative like to do the placements directly from the college?
From the college in Ontario?
Yeah.
Actually, pharmacists, they approach the pharmacies.
Okay.
Who are interested, like let's say somebody gets a license, then they approach pharmacies in near vicinity. If somebody is living, let's say, next door,
Yes, sir.
obviously they go to the pharmacies closer to their house,
Okay.
so they don't have to drive. And that's how we get more and more leads, basically. Directly from the college, I have never tried that.
There is no proper placement drive here.
There are actually. If you go to the OCP, which is Ontario College of Pharmacists, if you
Yes,
go
sir.
to the website, there are people who you can see, new licensors. You can see all the details.
Sure, sir. सर कोई एक ऐसी मोमेंट आप शेयर करना चाहेंगे, आप किसी पेशेंट को ट्रीट कर रहे थे या कंसल्ट कर रहे थे, वो आपको अभी तक याद है?
बहुत सारी हैं. पीपल रियली अप्रिशिएट इन कनाडा. आप अगर पेशेंट की केयर करते हो तो पीपल आर वेरी अप्रिशिएटिव. पीपल आर वेरी लॉयल इन कनाडा. इंडिया की तरह से नहीं है कि आपके पास एक पेशेंट आ जाए, कल वो दूसरी जगह से दवाई ले रहा है तो कल तीसरी जगह, बिकॉज वी कीप द डेटाबेस. ओके, सो पेशेंट, हमें पता होता है पेशेंट को भी क्या चाहिए, राइट? If they go to one pharmacy and then they go to another one, now the other person doesn't have the database.
Yes, sir.
So that's why the loyalty comes into picture. They know, okay,
You
if
have
I
the
go
patient history.
exactly. So if they come to me, then
sir.
they know they are in safe hands. If they go to somebody else, then they have to go over the details. Oh, I take this, I take, but I already know what is what, right? So there is a lot of, it's a rewarding business. It's a rewarding job.
सर मेरा एक पर्सनल क्वेश्चन था आपसे. आपको डेली मोटिवेट क्या चीज़ करती है उठ के वही रूटीन दोबारा फॉलो करने का?
When you treat your patient,
Yes,
and
sir.
if the patient is happy,
Yes, sir.
that's what motivates you.
Okay.
If you can take care of, let's say you come up with a problem and if I can resolve it,
हाँ जी सर.
that's what motivates me.
As a student, like I want advice from you that how can I grow in my professional or personal life? What should I do
As a pharmacist, or
as a normal student apart from pharmacist?
be honest and be true to your profession and give your 100%, you will be successful. This country has a lot of opportunities. Lot of opportunities. You just have to use them and make sure you are honest to yourself and to people around you.
Okay.
If you are honest, there is nothing stopping you.
You were in India and now you are in Canada. What's the value of time? Like,
Oh, it's a big difference.
okay.
It's a big difference. You can see, because you have families back home, right? If you don't work
Yes, sir.
and you lose the job, people will take care of you.
Yes, sir.
It's not the same case
It's
here.
not the same thing here.
It's not the same thing. You have to be very punctual, very responsible about what you are doing,
Yes, sir.
and bang on time. If you lose the time, then you lose everything. There is a big difference in how you deal with people here and you deal back home.
Okay.
There's a big difference, and a lot of people don't understand, and then they fail in life, and then they say, oh well, I'm doing the same thing as you.
Yes, sir.
But that's not true.
Do you read books, by the way?
You have to. Books in the sense, general books or the pharmacy?
Non-fictions, novels.
No, I'm not a big. I don't have time. I don't have time to read anything except the pharmacy. I read a lot of books on pharmacy, the new changes in the
System.
healthcare. Every day things are changing, right? How we treat people. More and more responsibilities are coming to the pharmacists nowadays. So we read about those things, and that kills pretty much all the time.
As a pharmacist, do you believe in Ayurveda?
Ayurveda actually in Canada it's not recognized very well, and because of the doctors who are practicing in Canada, they what should I say? They are not practicing in Ayurveda, so we don't get a lot of people coming to us. But we do get a few medications from India,
Yes, sir.
which we keep in the pharmacy and give it to our patient if anyone is interested to take those. But Ayurveda is not that popular in Canada.
Okay. Sir, thank you. आपने अपना इतना time हमें share करा.
No problem.
Apart from all these questions, anything special you want to share me and our audience? We'll be very happy, sir.
I mean, I would just say a pharmacist, if you want to come to Canada, make sure you go on the website pebc.ca. That will give you a detailed idea about what you are supposed to do when you enter into Canada. In Ontario, there is Ontario College of Pharmacists, which can very helpful people.
Yes, sir.
You call them, they'll give you all the details. You don't need to come to Canada to get all the information. You can get all the information sitting in India, and then you can decide whether you want to come or you don't want to come. What else? I think that's pretty much it. It's because nowadays everything is online. You don't need any help from anybody.
Yes, sir.
And there are a lot of people who are doing online coaching as well to do your exams. So you can get in touch with them. Any one of them, doesn't matter really. Yeah, that's it. So if you want to move to Canada, make sure you know what you are planning to do.
Yes, sir.
And again, if you have really good financial status in India, then you should think about it whether it's suitable for you or not, because then it's not a big deal. It's not a big difference.
Okay, sir.
But if you are just probably doing a job in India and you're not making enough, you want to come to Canada, it's a great business. It's a great profession.
There is one thing here. The most professionals come from India and they start doing odd job, labor jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it? Like it's like small.
No, if you are a pharmacist or a doctor or an engineer,
Yes, sir.
I would suggest that go and work for somebody for free and
Yeah.
get the Canadian experience. A lot of people, they sit at home when they come
Yes, sir.
because they don't get a job. You don't get a job. I didn't get a job when I came. You don't
Okay.
get a job right away because I don't have Canadian experience.
Yes, sir.
So I request everybody who comes to Canada, please go to the nearest pharmacy or a doctor office. If you are a nurse or you're if you're a doctor, go to the nearest place, get some experience,
Yes,
how patients are treated, how the things work, software. There are so many skills you need. So get those skills, then the life is easy. It's no problem.
So people here come here, घर पे बैठे रहते हैं, इससे अच्छा कहीं free में job.
Oh yeah.
Experience आएगा.
No, it's not free. It's not free. The person you are going to is spending time to teach you.
Yeah.
People think that, oh, why should I go work for free? You're not working for free.
Okay.
You are learning how the system works in Canada. Even if you go to a grocery store
Yes, sir.
and stand on the cash register for a day, you will learn a lot of things. People will come. You will know how to interact with people in Canada. You will know how the cash register works. So it's anything is okay. You just
Yes,
go. Don't sit at home.
Okay.
People just relax at home waiting for a job. That's not the way. Get out, go work for somebody.
Hustle, struggle, and
Yeah. And once you do volunteer work, let's say somebody comes to me
Okay.
and that person has potential, I will give them a job.
Okay.
I have done that for my assistants. Quite a few of the pharmacists working with me now, they started as volunteer.
Dushyant was sharing the story to me that if people came to you, you will go beyond your limit to help them.
No, it's see, if I'm in a position to help.
Yes, sir.
So I don't mind helping people if it helps somebody to succeed, right?
Yes, sir.
But don't expect that from everybody. You go to somebody. Everybody has a different financial status.
Yes,
everybody has a different thought process, right? So you have to respect that. You cannot expect the same treatment
Everybody to behave same.
from everybody, right?
Yes, sir.
So a lot of people, but I suggest everybody that go out,
Okay.
learn how the system works. Like this, think about if somebody goes to India from Canada,
Okay.
will that person succeed without experience? No. Even if you have to work in
The
a
market is
restaurant.
totally different.
Exactly. So it's the same thing here. When you come to Canada, if you want to work in a restaurant,
Yes, sir.
you need to learn how the things work inside the restaurant. It's not the same as back home.
Yes, sir.
Wearing the gloves, sanitizing yourself before you go to work, those are the etiquettes you have to learn. It's the same thing with pharmacy. You have to learn the etiquettes of pharmacy in Canada.
Okay.
Because if you are a pharmacist back home, doesn't mean if I go to India now,
Yes, sir.
I won't be successful until I work with somebody.
Yes, sir.
Even though I'm
You have to
successful
learn-
in Canada, because I have to learn how the system works
Works
there,
there.
right?
Okay.
And then if I prove my skills, then I will get a job.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Do people do dropshipping of medicines from India to here? Like, will they export medicines? Import, sorry.
No. Canada doesn't allow import by us.
Okay.
But the bigger, the manufacturers,
yeah.
those guys they have their own manufacturing industry in India,
India.
somewhere in I would say Punjab or Himachal.
Yes, sir.
And then they manufacture, but I don't know the details.
Okay.
But I know that there are a lot of medication
They do it basically.
made in India,
Yes, sir.
imported by, let's say, the bigger companies.
Okay.
But they take responsibility for
of
the
medicine.
product. We as retail, we can't import, we can't even get something from US and sell it here. We're not allowed.
The
We
rules
have
are very
to, we have
strict
to
here.
buy 100% from our wholesaler. That's the only way to buy stuff. If I bring something from India, I can't sell it in Canadian market.
Thank you, sir, for your
No
valuable
problem,
time.
no problem at all.
आपने ये अपनी जर्नी शेयर करी और हम सब के लिए इंस्पिरेशनल है कि आए आपने भी वेट करा सर खुद का स्टोर खोलने के लिए.
Yeah, you have to learn.
आप 2011 तक वेट करा सर पहला स्टोर खोलने के लिए. बहुत बड़ी बात होती है. हमें ये रहता है कि हम आ जाएं, कल हमारा स्टोर खुल जाए, परसों हमारा काम चल जाए.
नहीं एक्चुअली क्या होता है ना, आपको समझने की जरूरत है कि व्हेन यू गो टू अ न्यू प्लेस,
यस सर.
first you have to fit yourself into the system.
ओके.
First you have to fit into the community. People
Yes,
have to understand you,
Sure,
right?
sir.
You have to understand people.
ओके सर.
So that takes a long time.
Done.
And business is not something that you can get from day one. You can get a job, I agree. You can get, maybe if somebody is really good, doesn't have to work as a volunteer, might get a job.
Okay.
But doing business and putting foot forward into the community, you first have to understand the community. People
That
coming
works.
from India or from any other country, they don't know how the system works.
Okay.
Right?
There is one question, like it's personal. Have you ever felt racism when you were in the consultation industry? You, as a pharmacist, you were working.
Canada doesn't have racism at all.
Okay.
We feel it because I think initially when I came, or anybody who comes
Okay.
from India,
Like from any patient.
I mean, it's you can't call it racism, but let's say if a local patient comes to me,
Yes, sir.
who is born and brought up in Canada,
Yes, sir.
they don't understand my language, for example, because you are coming from India, right?
Okay.
So you have your accent,
Our
and if
accent
they
is
don't
different.
understand, then they might get upset because
Sure,
they
sir.
want services from you. They are paying you for that, so you have to learn how they want you to speak, right? That's why I said you need experience when you go to work. You have to groom yourself according to the community around you. If you are working, let's say if you are working in Brampton,
Yes, sir.
and people come to you not only from Brampton, people come to you from north side as well, right?
Okay.
And those people now, they expect a service from you, and they want you to understand what they are looking for.
Yes, sir.
And being from India, a new immigrant might not understand the language. And if they get upset, we call it racism. That's not racism. They're just expecting you to understand them,
Behave properly, basically.
behave
As
with
per
them,
their-
and accept it that I'm lacking something,
Yeah.
and I'm going
we
to
are not
improve
in India
myself.
anymore. We are in Canada.
It's the same thing if I always say, put it the other way around. If somebody goes from Canada to India, will there be a racism?
No, sir.
No.
India wants to
But
fit
the problem is now, the guy who comes to this guy, Canadian,
Yeah.
who is in India now, he will be speaking in Hindi.
Yes, sir.
And the guy who went from Canada to India might not understand.
Okay.
So the Indian customer, he will be upset, right?
Bilkul,
Why the hell I came to him when he doesn't understand me? It's the same thing.
Yes, sir.
But there is no racism. I don't think we should be talking about racism. Racism is
Totally different.
is nothing to do with the professionalism.
Okay.
You might experience in routine life, but in professional life, no.
You have never faced it.
No.
So thank you for your valuable time, sir. Again, अब हम इसको
No
यहीं
problem.
समाप्त
No
करते
problem.
हैं.
No problem.
थैंक यू सर. आई विल लर्न अ लॉट फ्रॉम यू. और हमारी ऑडियंस भी आपसे सीखेगी.
Sure.
और
Any,
आगे भी
anything.
आपको यूं ही हम तंग करते रहेंगे.
No problem at all.
आपका साथ और आपका आशीर्वाद हमें चाहिए.
No problem at all. No
थैंक यू
problem.
सर.
Yeah.
बाय. टेक केयर.